What's up, y'all? Straight to the point. Sports and entertainment. Y'all hit the like button and sub to the channel if you're not a member. And y'all hit those notifications too so that you're able to get all of my content and all of my videos. Very serious, man, that you hit the notifications, okay? I know a lot of people haven't been getting notifications and haven't been getting um, notified that I'm dropping content. Okay, so I'm here to let you know to hit the notifications. Now, this is a subject right here that needs to be talked about. Uh, of course, on this channel, we talk about real issues. Uh, we throw a little bit of everything in here. Okay, we talk about the sports, talk about the music, a little bit comical uh, with things, but of course, we do got to talk about real life and real life situations that do take place. Now, a Chicago woman, okay, uh, that is pregnant, by the way, who uh, whose son and as well as both of her kids have been bullied consistently. Now, you know, bullying and kids being messed with, that's nothing new. Everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people have dealt with that um, in their respective neighborhoods and whatever school that they might have went to. But this particular situation, man, this goes on all the time, and a lot of these situations don't turn out good, and I'll explain why in a minute. But basically, man, uh, these kids, probably been messing with this kid for quite some time. These kids for quite some time, they've been bullied, harassed, probably been picking on them and stuff like that. And the mom had probably had enough of it. You know what I'm saying? And the video is it's on my shorts. If you want to take a look at it and everything. Now I'm a little late talking about this situation because I wanted to gather the details as to what was going on. See, I didn't even know, but a lot of people were telling me that she was pregnant. Of course she didn't look it. You know what I'm saying? But she was pregnant, and these kids had pretty much jumped this lady and her kids or whatever, and she's sitting there fighting them off of her and everything. And of course, we're talking about Chicago, man. We're talking about all of it's rough. You know what I'm saying? It's a lifestyle where the kids are young, and this is everywhere. This is all across America. This isn't just Chicago that shit like this takes place. But first off, man, I want to give props to that lady for going to bat for her kids. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you something right now, okay? If that girl that swung on that lady, she better be glad that she just hit her and not one of those individuals, those heartless individuals that that don't care if you're a kid or not. Because I'm telling you, A lot of these fools out here, they don't care about any of that. If you grown enough to swing at another individual, then you grown enough to get hit back. Some people see it that way. You know what I'm saying? And they were teenagers and stuff like that. And see, I'm of the mindset of this, man. Yes, the kids did it, and it was cowardly and stuff like that. But see, I posted another video. One of the kids' mom had got on social media and was pretty much putting, her son on blast about the whole city of Chicago, in which they shout out to the neighborhood that came to render aid and protest for that lady and everything. Shout out to them. I'll get into that too in a minute. But the thing about it is, not everybody is going to think the same way that lady did or whatever. She was doing what was best, and plus she's pregnant and everything like that. But I blame the parents, man. What are these parents doing in the household? Listen, I'm going to tell you like this, man. My kids don't get down like that. And listen, that's why I advise you teach all of your kids to defend themselves. Don't teach them to be bullies. Don't teach them to go picking on people or, starting fights or anything like that. Teach them to end the fight. You teach them to, if they happen to put their hands or feel compelled to put their hands on you, make an example out of them. Unfortunately, that's what we have to do. Look, we don't want no problems, but sometimes it just comes to that, and people don't want to talk about these real issues and stuff like that goes on. We don't want to tackle this. You know what I'm saying? It's all right for us to talk about, sports and all that other stuff or whatever. Nah, this is the situations that we need to be talking about right here. It's situations like this. We don't want to tackle situations like this. We don't want to dive into situations like this or whatever. Because of, believe it or not, there's a few individuals that have been in this situation, both on both sides, probably before in their lives. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you so happen to been in a situation like this before, I feel, my heart goes out to you. I'd have seen situations like this before that took place. You know what I'm saying? This isn't nothing new, especially like, as a preteen going into a teen, high school years, stuff like that. These kids do stupid things, and it gets even more stupid nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Especially in a rough neighborhood such as Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Such as places down south. You know what I'm saying? Like the fucked up parts in ATL and, Dallas, places like that. You understand what I mean? So I do want to give a shout out to not only the lady that, went to bat for kids, but, in that neighborhood, everybody coming and protesting for her. You know what I'm saying? Because this situation could have been really bad. What if the way that I look at it, man, what if them kids weren't in their right mind and happen to pull out a gun, happen to pull out a knife? It's because of what they've been consuming, what they've been seeing and everything, and what they've been taught, what's been going on in their household and everything like that. Now, some of them, I got to say this, some of them are probably being taught right from wrong or whatever. They probably do what's necessary at home just so that they could go and get out, and then they go act the fool. You know what I'm saying? Kids is going to be kids. Kids are going to be sneaky with it. You know what I'm saying? That's just the nature of the beast. If you have kids on here, you understand what I'm saying. And on top of that, you got to understand that you was a kid at one time too. Now they do know better. You know what I'm saying? You know better than to put your hands on an adult, but some of those kids don't know better. Some of those kids are being abused at home, so then they want to go out and they feel it's all right to go ahead and fight another adult. Please hit that like when you come up in here. You understand what I mean? A lot of people who said parents are children these days. What's up with it, the real Elise? I'll see you in a bit. Make sure you go sub to the real Elise out here. Yes. Listen, they're too busy being friends. Like me, I've had to check all of my kids and let them know I'm not your friend. You have to let them know that you are not their friend, because that's the trend that's going on nowadays. Oh, they want to be friends. They want to be cool, and stuff. Nah, because then the respect, believe it or not, it's going to end up going, because they're going to feel like they can do anything. You said straight. That looks straight, orchestrated. Yeah, well, the thing about it is, they actually produced that happened. Someone had a camera. This shit crazy. Well, nah, listen, man. This, I think that this has been going on for quite some time. Kids nowadays, man, they got cell phones. You gotta look at it like this, Elise. A lot of these kids, shoot, they even at because I got a 6-year-old and I got a 9-year-old, as well as getting ready to be 16. These kids are they got cell phones in elementary school. So just let that sink in. You know what I'm saying? And you got to think about it. These kids that are in elementary school, some of these kids are getting caught with guns. It makes us look like straight buffoon. Like all of those children were in on it. Not one. Yeah, exactly. But you got to see, Elise, check this out, man. We all are, I know I come from a really messed up environment, you know what I'm saying? So I done witnessed this when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? I done witnessed stuff like this. Both man and woman. I remember a family that was getting harassed, and this dude literally had to pick up one of them kids and let them know, look, you see what I can do to you. Because he was a big dude, but they felt, they didn't care how big you were. They don't care how intimidating you look, believe it or not. Kids are crazy like that now. And I, like, now looking back on it, back then, everybody was like, why would he do that and all this other stuff? But now, as a grown man, you look at it now like, okay, well, you got to make an example and let them know, look, this is what I could do to you. Now, he didn't slam him on the ground or nothing like that, but the force of him slamming that dude, a little dude on the ground back then, probably could have killed that little kid or something like that. But you got to understand, you don't know if that father that you picking on has been to prison. You don't know if that father was one of the coldest gangsters, you know what I'm saying, back then, but he just so happened to change his life. You don't know if he played in the NFL. You don't know if he played what type of physicality. You don't know if he was a shooter back in the days, as well as the women too. You don't know if that woman used to be one of the coldest gangsters. You don't know if she knows martial art with one strike could strike you dead or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was saying about that little girl that swung on her. You could have swung on the wrong person or whatever, and them not being their right mind. And guess what? Next thing you know, your family members will become having looking for her. You said, me too. Shit. Growing up here in the Bay, we seen it a little. Oh yeah, and in Oakland, because I got Elise, I got family in Oakland or whatever. Matter of fact, so I'm telling the truth. Used to go to San Leandro a lot, and I used to hoop over there. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother, God rest her soul, she not with us no more, or whatever. But yeah, that's where my other side of the family is from, or whatever. But yeah, I know how Oakland is. And at one time, I remember going up there, and they didn't even want me to go nowhere. They was like, "Nah, I got to go with you." I was like, "Man, come on, man, it's Oakland." You know what I'm saying? They was like, "No." It's bad out here. At one point, it got just as bad as L.A. Grew up in Berkeley, yeah, Berkeley and Oakland. There you go, yeah. Family both, and I had an auntie. God rest her soul, she passed out that way too. But yeah, I know how Oakland is, and people think like, oh, just because it's not SoCal and all that other stuff. Nah, man, Oakland don't fuck around. Richmond, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy out there. But like I said, man, I want to give a shout out to the community for standing with that lady. You know what I'm saying? For them speaking out. This thing could have been really bad. What if she lose the baby? What if she would have lost the baby? Now you got to think about that. And the parents of the kids or whatever, some of them probably don't even care. Now, the lady that got on IG, with her little boy and everything, she was like, look, but she didn't even look serious about it. She looked like she wanted to gain some clout or whatever. And that's why I had to wonder, what is that your friend? Or is that your son? Are you busy being a parent, or are you busy being a friend? Because I'm gonna be real with you, Elijah, man. My kids did something like that. Oh man, they already know what it is when they get home. You already know. But I teach my kids not to bully or anything like that. But if somebody put their hands on you, and they'll be like, well, what if I get in trouble? Don't worry about it. You're not gonna get in trouble. Don't worry about that. You're not going to get in trouble. If they put their hands on you, you make an example out of them. That's what you're supposed to do, because you don't want them to get picked on. Well, we don't want, these kids fighting and all that. Well, shit. Hey, look, a lot of these kids, get away with bullying and stuff like that. They don't even want to go to school. They got to take a different route. They probably hiding their stuff, hiding their lunch money, or hiding their things and stuff like that because they're getting their stuff stolen and stuff like that. No. You don't want your kids living in fear, because then that's a learned behavior. Then as they get older, they gonna start being in fear. No. We're not going to do that. Nah, you address the problem. See, back then, Elisa, you probably understand where I'm coming from. Nah, it wasn't, stop all this anti-bullying and all this. No, the way that you stop bullying is just standing up to that dude. And look, if you get your ass whooped, you just get your ass whooped or whatever. Some bullies will give you props. Some bullies will be like, you know what? Nah, we can't fuck. Look, man. Look, if they bigger than you or something like that, they just. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was talking. But they got all this, oh yeah, stop bullying and anti-bullying and all this other stuff. And look, I ain't talking down on none of that, you know what I'm saying? But we didn't have that. The way that you did that, you check that motherfucker. And on top of that, if you see somebody that's getting bullied, you stand up for them, especially if that dude's too small. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, listen, all these people talk about, the gangsters and all that other stuff, street niggas and stuff like that. A lot of the street niggas and a lot of the gangsters and stuff, they didn't condone that shit. Like, if they would have seen that happening to that lady, man, they would have cleared them out. They would have got all those kids up off of that lady. And they would have checked all of those kids. You know what I'm saying? You protect the woman, that's pregnant, and the kids and stuff like that, from getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? One of them kids could have fell and hit their head. She could have fell real bad or something like that, from losing her balance or something like that. Anything could have took place out there. You understand? So a lot of people don't look at it from that standpoint. But everybody so busy with like, oh yeah, she was fighting and all this other stuff. Nah, man. I don't look at it like that. But like I said, man, I give props to that young lady for standing up. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you, man or woman. Shit, if she would have tried to swing on me, I would. She wasn't gonna get very far trying to swing on me. Of course, she gonna try to swing on that lady. You know what I'm saying? Because she, a lot skinnier and all that other stuff. I guess she thought, just because you're behind it. But listen, man, shit. If she would have swung on the wrong motherfucker, guess what? She lucky that she wouldn't have got jack slapped. I know man, plenty of kids that have tried some stuff like that. And then I come from the era where all, the whole neighborhood was going to raise you. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't supposed to put no hands on no adult. But the respect level is lost today. The respect level is lost today, man. So, like I said, man, I want to talk about things like this because we tend to get away from talking about stuff like this, man. This is the real situation. This ain't the only situation happening in Chicago. It's happening in Chicago. It's happening in New York, Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Dallas. You know what I'm saying? H-Town, L.A., Oakland. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Even the good neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Even the neighborhood that you wouldn't suspect. You know what I'm saying? Suburban neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Urban neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? Down in the gutter. Shit, it happens everywhere. It's not just in just the projects and shit like that. Nah, this is happening in nice neighborhoods and shit. And that's what we got to look at it. That's what we got to look at it for. So like I said, man. This raises awareness. We got a lot of stuff that's happening out here. Like a lot of kids aren't being raised properly. Some of these kids don't have no places to go. They ain't got no boys and girls club. They ain't got no after school activities to keep them busy. You know what I'm saying? They not involved in nothing, something like that. So what they gonna be taught? They're gonna be taught to look at the tablet, look at social media all day. You know what I'm saying? Do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? Doing nothing constructive with their time. Nah, man, gonna get your kids lost like that. But like I said, man, I appreciate pulling up, listening to your boy. Make sure y'all like the video, share, subscribe, hit them notifications too. Shouts out to the brother Really Leezy. Go sub to his page. Until then, man, LDBC all day, basketball and boxing, straight to the point. I'm out.